Oh my God. It looks like Maresca just doesn't care about the league. And that is so frustrating. All right, welcome back to American Blues Podcast. I needed a whole day to recover from the frustration of watching Brentford versus Chelsea. You know, looking at our run-in, we have some really, really, really tough games in May. Top 4, top 5, definitely not guaranteed. And I don't even count top 5 as a guaranteed Champions League. I think we need to be in top 4 because as bad as Tottenham and United are, they should still be winning Europa League, one of them. And if one of them wins it, they will take that 5th spot from whoever is there. So I genuinely think we need to be 4th or 3rd to make Champions League. And to do that with our May schedule coming up, man, like we needed all 3 points against Brentford and we just did not deliver. And I fully put the blame on Maresca and on Nkunku. I'm sorry. The second I saw that starting lineup, no Palmer, no Cucurella, no Colwell, oh man, and no Nicholas Jackson, who I forgot to give praise against Tottenham. He immediately makes a difference in terms of how we play. Like he is the cog up front that makes everybody else work. You know, he makes the runs that gives other people space. He is the link up into attack, even if he's not the best and most clinical goal scorer. He is still dangerous and he's an absolute nuisance for the defenders to play against. And I'm sorry, Nkunku just is not that guy. He is not it. And just the lack of pressing from Nkunku, just the lack of desire from Nkunku just to get on anything, you know, it's just baffling. And then when you have that, when you have a guy who doesn't make runs, who doesn't create space, he cannot come back and hold up ball. There were several times when he was supposed to come back, and especially in the first half, there was a moment where, you know, we worked really hard to get the ball out from back, really hard. Enzo got the ball, made a pass to Nkunku, and Nkunku just did not run towards it, and it was easily cut off. And right after, Enzo literally yelled at Nkunku, like, come on, come closer to me, come to the ball. And then there was another moment that was the most infuriating for me, which is, you know, Madueke, for his faults of not being clinical, this guy can run, and he has been pressing his ass off this entire season whenever he plays. And he worked his butt off pressing his defender and caused him to make a slight error, loose ball. And if Nkunku just followed up his pressing, he would have easily pounced down on the ball and would have been one-on-one with the goalie. But of course, he wasn't there. He only reacted after the ball went free, and by then the defender had time to recover. And that was that. And you could see the frustration on Madueke's face, you know, in his body language. Like you could essentially hear him thinking, like, I tried so hard. I ran at my defender. I did my job. You're not doing yours. Simple. You know, so just so frustrating. The second I saw that lineup, I said, oh God, oh no. We are not serious about this game. Maresca is not serious about this game. And the only excuse I can think of is the players that he left out were the ones that just came back from injury. You know, Madueke barely played against Tottenham, so we rested Palmer, Jackson, Cucurella. But still, like, I'm not buying that excuse as an excuse. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I can't. When Premier League is our priority. I'm sorry, winning Conference League, yes, it sounds good. Yes, it's a trophy, but I couldn't give two shits about Conference League if it means we can get into Champions League next season. That is our basis for long-term success. That is what allows us to buy a top-level striker, which is what we desperately need. Like all the ones who are available, Seshko, Gyökeres, even though he looks like he's going to Arsenal, Osman, like all these players, they want to play in Champions League. They want to play in Champions League because that is the pinnacle of club football, and that's where they deserve to play. And we need to get there. Not only just because of that, but we need to get our finances in order. Like, we are still buying teenagers at even more inflated prices, and to counteract that, we need more revenue. All right, so we must get Champions League. And for Maresca to have spent the last game saying, hey, every game remaining is a final, right? Is a final. If you go into a final, would you drop 3 of your most important players and play your backup team? Fuck no, you wouldn't. Absolutely not. Like every single game, we should be playing our full starting team. Every single Premier League game. And then Conference League, play the second team. Bring on the first team if they need help. But this should not be the other way around. We should not be playing our second team in Premier Leagues and then bringing on Palmer, Jackson, Cucurella at the end of a game to see if they can make a difference, right? That's unfair on them. That's expecting too much from them. They should have started this game. And the first half just destroyed the confidence from the team. Like we were awful, just awful. And with Nkunku not running, not creating space, mixed with Sancho holding onto the ball, being super indecisive, that really means we have just one player who's dynamic, who can do anything, which is Madueke. And I think he tried his best. I think he tried his best on that side. Was able to make it to the byline a few times, a few crosses in, but again, it ended up going nowhere. And he had some pretty weak shots on target too. But yeah, and then Sanchez, man. And then, of course, we needed to rely on Sanchez's goal-saving ability to save us again. So we still got a point out of this game. I think he was a little bit shakier during this game, had several loose passes. Again, Sanchez being Sanchez. But when it comes to goal stopping, I think he held up his end incredibly well. There were several counterattacks by Brentford that looked incredibly dangerous. There were good saves. It was a split-second reaction save, right hand. He had to have strong hands, too, to knock that over the side post because that ball was hit with speed at him. And so, credit's due. Sanchez, he's definitely not the reason we lost 2 points. And he saved us from losing 3 points. And for some reason, somehow, we are still in 4th. But that's also dependent on Newcastle's game. And again, we cannot keep relying on City and Newcastle to drop points. That is not our way into the top 4. We need to get every single point that we play. So we have some very winnable games the remainder of this month. I think it's Everton, Ipswich, maximum points. You must, Maresca, look at me. You must play the first team. You must play our starters. You cannot play Nkunku as 9 and expect for something different to happen when all season we've seen this again and again. That does not work. Our style play does not work when you have Nkunku as number 9. Period. He's just not that player. He will never be that player. And each time that he's there, he loses interest. And it's just worse and worse for him. And you could just tell just how desperately he does not want to be at this club anymore. So, yeah. And then even if we get maximum points from the rest of this month, May is insane. We have Liverpool. We have not beaten in multiple years. Keep that in mind. Multiple years. All right. We have Newcastle. Huge game. That's a direct rival into the top 4. And then Nottingham Forest. Huge game. They might be ahead of us, but not by much. Another humongous game. And again, we just cannot. And United, we just cannot seem to beat. We always tie them. We just cannot seem to beat them, no matter how bad they are. So, yeah, super tough May. Super disappointing game against Brentford. Just so goddamn frustrating watching that game in our lineup. And like I said, I just cannot believe what I saw on TV yesterday or the day before. Just for how badly we need to get in Champions League, the manager is not helping us. Like right now, he is not helping us. He took a risk with that game. He way underestimated Brentford, why? Like we've always had trouble playing against Brentford. Like they play a style that's really hard for us, right? They're super defensive. They hit us on the counter. This is the kind of game where we need our finesse players. We need people running to make space. And Maresca made a horrible decision. 2 points unnecessarily dropped. As you can tell, still incredibly frustrated. Like I said, I don't think there's any excuse for that kind of managing. And we better change. And we better change up real soon and actually treat the remaining 7 games like they're goddamn finals. Right? Because that's what they are. We are literally fighting for the future of the club next year right now. We better shape up. So, Conference League next. Warsaw, like if I see Palmer start in that game, I'm gonna be so pissed. So pissed. Right? That's the game that you start the B team on. All right, save Palmer for the weekend for the Premier League game. So see you guys after the next one. Peace.